Okay, so recently we had some friends over, and it kind of got into a pretty intense conversation. And in the process, they were sharing, and particularly he was sharing, that he felt like, boy, he was in a season, some things in his life taking place and so forth, that he feels like he's not aware of much more purpose for his life. Really, is he and able to have any more impact? And that was disconcerting to me, and I was like, I was talking to my friend and saying, wow, and that concerns me, and I was trying to encourage him and speak words of life and so forth into him, and it wasn't happening, and it just wasn't having any kind of effect on him and so forth. And somehow in the midst of that, I started feeling like it quickly came on me, a lot of emotion, and it just kind of poured out in tears. I began weeping as I was looking at him, talking to him, and telling him in between my tears how much he mattered to me and how much I still appreciate him in my life and so forth. And that was just a lot of tears. In the midst of that, I was aware of thinking, even as I'm doing that, what is this like for you, watching me, seeing me go through this? I didn't know, and so I'm just curious.
Yeah, for me it wasn't negative because I know how much you love this guy and care about him, and I knew it was just that emotion that was really hitting your heart. And I thought it was really powerful, actually. I think all of us in the room really felt the impact, that it penetrated all of our hearts, I think. I know it did for me. I think it did for our friends. Just to see that level of emotion, because that's not a level of emotion that you see every day. It's not a level of emotion you see even, maybe once a year, maybe. It's not, people don't go there like to what you were experiencing. I mean, that's the kind of emotion you would see at a funeral or some kind of a deep grieving type of thing. So I think it had tremendous impact. And for me, I felt like you were just being authentic. You weren't trying to cover it up, but you were honestly telling our friend what he meant to you. And so that I really respected, because I think it just showed your integrity to be able to be in the moment and not have to cover that up.
Well, okay. What about the sense of, again, one of the questions I had was, I think when I feel that vulnerable, I wonder, do you see me as weak? I think that was kind of one of the questions going through my mind.
Yeah, no, I think probably the opposite. I think I felt that you had a strength in that, and an integrity in that. It didn't come across weak to me. It didn't unnerve me. It wasn't like, oh my gosh, Mark's crying. It wasn't like that. So, yeah.
But you're right. What you're saying earlier, our tendency, I think, is to pull back and cover it up and hold it back.
Try and stifle it, or put a lid on it.
Exactly, and as you were saying, there's a very real sense in which that's not being true to me. I'm not having integrity with what's going on inside of me, and I'm not being vulnerable to you or our friends. Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks, hon.